Hello everyone, Misty here. Today, I'll be talking about the Apex Legends Chaos Theory Collection event. But this isn't no mere ordinary collection event. This is the Season 8 balance changes and patch notes we've all been waiting for. That's right, huge changes to balance, quality of life improvements, everything. It's just insane. This patch notes just keep on giving. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to click that like button and hit subscribe so you won't miss any future content. And stick around to the end, because I've got some interesting announcements and ideas I want to talk about. Anyways, let's hop right into it. So, as always, it's a collection event, but there's a bunch of other things that are happening too. First thing, Nintendo Switch launch. So if you play on the Nintendo Switch and you've been waiting for Apex Legends, this is our time. You can now play Apex Legends on the Nintendo Switch, starting on March 9th. If you play on the Nintendo Switch, you will get this exclusive Pathfinder skin. So this is really cool. I don't know who the Switch players will be queued up with, if they'll be queued up with console players or just other Switch players. But this is interesting. I can't wait to see how that performs on the Switch. We now have a Caustic Town takeover that takes over from where water treatment used to be. And yes, if you were asking, does the green stuff hurt? It does. It does. But this is really cool. The whole place looks absolutely insane. It looks like this futuristic factory just got run down. And it just fits Caustic so well. Especially with the inside. There'll be some really good loot inside these things, but they can close up. And the floor, the green stuff on the floor will rise up, and it can harm you if you stand in it. This will be interesting. Because when you come in, you have to press a panel to drain the stuff out to access the items. It'll be interesting how this builds on Caustic's lore as well. Next up, we have the new LTM. This is going to be Ring Fury Escalation Takeover. So, there's going to be smaller rings that are going to be popping up around the map, just pockets, and I don't know how long they'll last, if they'll be permanent or not. And it's an escalation event, which means as the event progresses, these rings are going to change in size. What we'll start off with at the beginning will probably just be a few isolated pockets of rings, and at the end, we're going to see it start enveloping entire points of interest. And that could be really interesting to push players out. I mean, obviously this is only going to be in pubs. It's going to be very fun to play, I think. The additions to the game that are coming with the LTM is actually going to completely change up how this game plays, I think. So, heat shields are a usable item that you can throw down and create like a Gibraltar-style bubble that protects you from the ring while you're inside of it. And it gives you buffs. 50% item heal speed and revives, 25% for everybody inside the bubble. That is going to be actually crazy. I think this is going to change up pro tier play and high level comp a lot, especially pro tier play. Like, could you imagine a team, TSM, all of them have one of these and they just throw these down in the end zone and just buy them seconds at a time? So what these things are going to do is, in rings that have less damage, they're going to last a lot longer. And in rings that are very high damage, like end game rings, they're going to last a lot shorter. So you might only be able to buy a couple seconds at a time, but a couple seconds at a time can be all you need to win a fight in the end game. This is huge. And added to this, we get the survival slot. What the survival slot does is it gives you a whole other inventory slot. Can we thank Respawn for this? Because they've been adding so much stuff to the loot pool and things for us to use that we just don't carry, because batteries are more important, heals are more important, ammo is more important. And so you've found very few people who are actually running respawn beacons in in-game. So what this will allow you to do is it'll allow you to carry respawn beacons and heat shields exclusively in this slot. I think what will happen is you'll be running one respawn beacon and two heat shields. I think is going to be the optimal composition. So you're going to give your respawn beacon to your escape character. So you're going to give it to your Wraith, your Pathfinder, your Horizon, your Octane. If your team gets absolutely destroyed, they can run away and escape, come back, grab your beacons, and respawn you. And then you're going to see your Caustics, your Gibbies are going to be carrying the heat shield for endgame survival. I think this is going to change the game. I think this is going to make insane endgame plays happen with a lot more respawning endgame. And you're going to see crazy plays with the heat shield, especially in high level comp. And these things can be kept in the game after the LTM ends. So these are permanent additions. Another thing, no Fill Matchmaking. Now, the sweaty Wraiths and Horizons can just choose not to have teammates and go die in whatever zone. And I think I'll use this a lot for duos. I think it'll be really fun and not have to worry about teammates. Of course, you can only have 6 potential no-fill players in any match, so it won't change up the experience too much. So now we have the collection event and rewards track. You get your legendary Kraber skin and Eva 8 skin. Also, Bangalore heirloom. Look at this thing. It looks insane. I love it so much. Like, Shiv is going to be so happy with this. I would run this. If I was a Bangalore main, my wallet would be crying right now. Now, here we get into the big changes. Legend updates. Caustic has been hard nerfed. Caustic's gas grenade, his ultimate, has been increased by a whole minute, from 2.5 minutes to 3.5 minutes. You're going to be fighting less Caustic ultimates. His gas has been nerfed so much. So before, it would start at 6 HP per tick and increase to 12 HP per tick. Now it's only 5 HP per tick. That is insane nerf. He's still going to be strong because the gas is still going to slow and provide some visual obscurity. But this is a huge nerf. The devs actually said on the dev stream that Caustic has the highest win rate in games that last over 20 minutes. This happens in high-level ranked and pro-tier play. Pro-tier play always goes over 20 minutes. It always goes to the end. So this is a really great change. It'll make him easier to fight, thank goodness. I think he still needs a buff in open fields because he's very weak if he's caught in the open and doesn't have a ability to play around. And that's something that happens a lot in public matches where you just W key for kills. And if you thought that wasn't good enough, Pathfinder has low profile removed. Now he's just a refrigerator, but doesn't take the damage like a refrigerator. I'm very happy. He's going to be one of the strongest legends in the game. I think he's going to see a revival in his usage, and that's a good thing. I really like him as a character. He used to be my old main. Next, the Gibby nerf we didn't need. Yes, he needs a nerf, but his gun shield needs a nerf. You shouldn't be able to eat a whole Kraber shot to the gun shield, or a whole shotgun shot. No more fast heal in the game, folks. No more fast heal. Gibraltar got the nerf we didn't need. Horizon got a nice nerf to the black hole. Devs have said Horizon is still strong, and they're still looking at nerfs for her, I think. My biggest problem with her is she can levitate her whole team up on top of you every 20 seconds and take whatever positioning you thought you had. Revenant got some minor buffs. Watson might be meta now. These changes might make her meta now, especially with the Caustic nerf. So in high-level ranked and in pro-tier competitive play, I think we're going to see her used a lot more. I think also in pubs with this selfish ability, she's going to see a lot more strength in pubs and a lot more use rate. Especially in pro-tier play, where they're basically scrapping for shield meds because nobody has shield meds because they poke a lot at other teams. I don't know if it'll be like only Watson, but I think we're going to see like a lot of Watsons, a lot of Caustics, especially because Watson's ultimate counters Caustic's ultimate. So that'll be interesting. Rampart got another buff. I think she's getting to a good spot. And this update just keeps on giving. AR and LMGs now have the 2x bruiser on them for the gold ones, which is actually insane, and thank goodness, because I really hated the 1x2, and I don't think anybody in this game liked having the 1x2 on the gold weapons. But there'll be more. I'm going to talk more about that later. The Mastiff has been nerfed, finally. No longer Mastiff Legends. This is about a 15% nerf in damage and about a 10% buff in fire rate. I don't know how that works out, but I think overall it's going to be a nerf. But it does slot it somewhere in between the Eva 8 and the Peacekeeper, as the devs say right here. Personally, I would like to see the Peacekeeper return to the floor, and maybe the Mozambique goes in the care package. I think it would be a really fun meta to play in, where you have the options between, your Eva 8's kind of like your starting shotgun. You just kind of find it to build up a better shotgun, but it's still good. Mastiff is going to be still strong, especially on Gibby. And then you get your Peacekeeper, which is going to be great for using around cover, but maybe not so great against a Mastiff in the open. I think that'd be fun. But anyway, this is just a start to that idea. I think it's really good change. And now we have the Wingman. So the Wingman suffers from the problem of being a high-risk, high-reward weapon. And it's such a high risk that you might as well just run like an LMG. Sorry, not an LMG, an assault rifle instead of it. Because it's just too high risk. But now they're adding one bullet to every magazine size, including the base. So I think that's going to help eliminate some of that risk because you won't have to reload it as much. Hemlock, thank goodness, it's the nerf we needed. Hip fire spread has been increased. It'll still be good at what it's supposed to be good at, but not a laser at close range. And some quality of life changes, better loot, especially in Crash Site. This is the thing I've been asking for a long time. Gold weapons and care package weapons now have swappable optics. You pick up a Hemlock, a golden Hemlock, and it's got a 2x on it, and you're like, oh, I want to put a 3x on it. You can do that now. And obviously, the Kraber is still special. You can't do that with the Kraber, which is good. Golden backpack now has a tell if someone's using it, so like you can see that they're being rezzed with the golden bag, which is good for deciding whether or not you want to push somebody. More quality of life changes. It's all good. Wraith mains on controller can't inspect spam now. Kind of feels bad for them. Some good bug fixes. Wraith buff. Hallelujah. Jumping into at a wall no longer cancels your tactical, which I've died so many times to. I'm so happy they fixed that. That's basically it. The only things I don't see in these patch notes that I would have loved to see was a nerf to the Revenant Octane meta, and maybe some Wraith buffs and more Horizon nerfs. The Revenant Octane meta has been strong because basically you could ulti up in Revenant and then yeet yourself on a jump pad across the map into people, and you don't hear them coming. You don't hear the Revenant totem activate. You don't hear the jump pad activate because it goes so far. You just get a team of sweaty 3-stacks landing on your head with Mastiffs. I think there still needs to be a tell for his jump pad that it's being used, and maybe a Revenant totem needs a range, or maybe you don't allow it to use jump pad while in Revenant ult. I think it needs some sort of nerf because right now it's just, you don't know it's coming until it's hit you, and that's the big problem with it. And the other thing, maybe Horizon nerfs, but they did say they were looking at more Horizon changes. And then Wraith buffs, I think her tactical activation time should be decreased, which would make her more fun to use. The devs have said multiple times that nerfing her tactical didn't appreciably affect her. I think maybe we could get some Wraith buffs here. Anyway, that's it for the collection event. Just a couple more things to talk about. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future content. Also, I'm thinking about putting a Mastiff video on how to use it out. I want to wait for these changes to hit before I put that video because I want to feel what the update's going to be like. New video coming out on Tuesday next week. It's going to be just me opening Apex packs. I know you guys love to see other people gamble their money away as I search for an heirloom. This is older content from Season 5. As well, I've been thinking about maybe doing some giveaways on my channel for Apex coins, just like small giveaways. Anyway, if you think that's a good idea, hit me up in the comment section down below. Also, if you have any thoughts on these patch notes, please hit me in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is the second take because my audio didn't record the first time. And thank you and have a great day. Bye!